Scientists are on high alert after a series of earthquakes strike near a U.S. volcano that's due to blow. Let's dig into this.
Let's get this showboat on the road, shall we? Yeah, boy. We did it. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That hill you see over in the distance there, you can just barely make out the fire tower on the top of that sucker. Stik Mountain, there's some rain coming down through the valleys. Fulfilling promises. One subscriber at a time. That's Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the We All Gonna Die Wednesday Early Edition. You guys ready for some We All Gonna Die Wednesday? Well, if you live in Washington State, Wednesday could do you in. Article here from the Daily Mail. The largest active volcano in Washington State has been rocked by a series of earthquakes, putting experts on high alert. Mount Adams is a 12,000-foot tall stratovolcano located in south central Washington, about 55 miles southwest of the city of Yakima. The volcano is considered a high threat due to its ability to trigger landslides, debris avalanches, and mud flows that can travel up to 50 miles an hour down the slope, which could put thousands of people at risk. Mount Adams. Put that on your We All Gonna Die Wednesday radar, folks. Goes on to say, although this volcano hasn't erupted for about 1,000 years, it will assuredly erupt again, the USGS experts say. But it's impossible to say exactly when it will blow. This is why scientists have established monitoring stations around Mount Adams to track its seismic activity. Between September and October last year, these monitors detected 9 earthquakes, ranging from a magnitude of 0.9 to around 2.0 around the volcano. Those don't seem too awful big, right? Goes on to say that Mount Adams typically only experiences one earthquake every 2 to 3 years. Well, I guess that's definitely a ramp up then. While increasing seismic activity can be a sign that a volcano is about to blow, experts have stressed that this series of tremors appears to be normal background activity and does not mean an eruption from Mount Adams is imminent. Interesting. I'll include some photos up here of Mount Adams and its snowy covered peaks. But the biggest threat to people that live near this volcano isn't an explosive eruption. It's actually avalanches, mudslides, and lahars, or muddy flows of rock, ash, and ice that surge downstream like rapid flowing concrete and can occur during eruptive or non-eruptive periods, according to the USGS. The ice cap summit conceals large volumes of hydrothermally weakened rock, and future landslides of this weakened rock could generate far-traveled lahars. In light of the recent earthquake, scientists have installed 3 additional monitoring stations around the volcano to keep a closer eye on it. Well, that's good. We went up and worked with the Forest Service to put 3 additional temporary stations in, Holly Weiss Racine, the outreach coordinator for the Cascades Volcano Observatory, told KGW 8. They are solar powered, so they'll be able to tell us when there's an earthquake, she added. These additional stations will help scientists at CVO and the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network investigate the size, location, and depth of earthquakes, according to the USGS. This will improve our ability to locate smaller earthquakes with more certainty and assist in the understanding the cause of these earthquakes. The results of our findings will determine any additional actions needed, the USGS wrote. Since October, the seismic activity around Mount Adams has died down significantly, but researchers still watch the volcano closely to see if an uptick comes again. In addition to helping scientists assess Mount Adams' likelihood of erupting, the new monitors will also help them answer long-standing questions about this volcano. We don't have a lot of background information on Mount Adams. We've been monitoring the mountain for the last 42 years, but the volcano has been in existence for hundreds of thousands of years, she said. For example, these monitors could help researchers determine how active Mount Adams really is. In some cases, earthquakes near volcanoes can trigger eruptions, but this only occurs if the quake is greater than a magnitude 6 and the volcano is already poised to erupt. Well, that's really good to know. When those conditions are met, the quake could cause dissolved gases to come out of the magma, similarly to a shaken soda bottle, which increases the pressure inside the volcano and may lead to an eruption. But these 9 quakes were far too small to trigger an eruption. Mount Adams formed roughly 520,000 years ago, and it's located roughly 70 miles northeast of Vancouver, Washington, and Portland, Oregon. Even though Mount Adams is considered a high-threat volcano, it hasn't erupted in 1,000 years. Scientists estimate that its most recent eruption occurred sometime between 3,800 and 7,600 years ago. And throughout history, Mount Adams has mainly produced effusive eruptions, which are different from explosive eruptions in that they do not send lava and gas shooting into the sky, but rather a slow-moving magma flows that creep down the volcano's sides. Well, that's really good. Apparently, we don't have to worry too much about Mount Adams blowing its top. But mud flows and what were the names of those things? What the heck did they call those things? Lahars, the hot concrete flowing downhill. That doesn't sound like any fun. I've seen videos of this in the past. I'll see if I can find one and include it right here for you. Lahars don't sound like any fun, and I would not want to be part of that. And if you live in the Pacific Northwest, I know there's been a whole lot of shaking going on recently. Some earthquakes out off the coast that have triggered tsunami warnings and things like that. I hope you guys are getting and staying prepared for this kind of thing. Know where your high ground is. Know where your structures are. If you feel the shaking and you're not comfortable inside, get outside. Get into the middle of a lawn. Stay away from anything that could possibly fall on you, right? I think that's the best advice I could give. Being from New York here, where we rarely experience an earthquake, I don't have much advice to give. I'm going to have to defer to the folks who live on the West Coast where all the shaking happens. But, hey, something to look out for, right? Just another one of those we all gonna die Wednesday hazards. Well, folks, this has been your We All Gonna Die Wednesday morning edition. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me during the daytime here. It's been pretty cool, honestly, and I really appreciate you being here. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all tonight, 7:30 on the Wednesday nights. You know how we do it. We All Gonna Die Wednesdays, live. Never know what the topic's going to be, so you'll have to tune in and find out. Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival, and we will catch you on the next one.